Tiger Woods is back in Augusta. His plane landed at Augusta Regional. Then he was off to Augusta National.
The official records will tell you it never happened. The media never got a whisper of it. But sources say that federal agents once stepped aboard Tiger Woods' $60 million private jet for a top-secret search. They weren't there for a friendly chat. They were there because of a terrifying tip. Forget everything you think you know about Tiger's comeback story. The real story is what they found hidden on that plane. A secret that connects to power, wealth, and a mystery that will make you question everything. Whispers at 30,000 feet. Many people are crazy about the lives of the rich and famous. We see the mansions, the cars, and the private jets and think we understand. But not all things are what they seem. Take Tiger Woods, a name synonymous with greatness, a man who has faced down every challenger on the golf course. His private jet, a Gulfstream G550, isn't just a plane, it's a symbol of his status. Costing over $60 million, this flying fortress can travel over 7,000 miles without refueling. That's like flying from Florida to Japan on a single tank. Inside, it's a world of hand-stitched leather, rare woods, and satellite technology that keeps him connected to his empire from anywhere on Earth. It's his throne room in the sky, a place where he is untouchable, or so he thought. The story begins not with a roar, but with a whisper, an anonymous tip delivered to a secure FBI hotline. The voice on the other end was distorted, panicked. It spoke of Tiger's jet, tail number N517TW, and alleged that something was being moved on that plane. It wasn't the usual stuff of celebrity scandals. The tip was stranger, more cryptic. The informant didn't talk about illicit substances or undeclared cash. They spoke of items of influence and a pact. It was just enough to sound crazy, but the source provided a specific detail, a detail about a custom modification made to the jet that wasn't on any public record. This tiny, verifiable fact was the hook. It was enough to light a fire of curiosity that smoke jumped all the way up the chain of command. You see, the FBI doesn't just raid the planes of global icons on a whim. The paperwork, the clearances, the political fallout, it's a nightmare. But the whisper was too specific to ignore. A quiet investigation was launched. Agents began tracking the jet's movements, not just through public flight data, but through more covert means. They noticed its patterns, the trips to Augusta for the Masters, the winter flights to the Bahamas, but they also noticed other stranger destinations. Short, seemingly pointless trips to remote airfields in places like Wyoming or the Nevada desert. Places with no golf courses, no sponsors, no logical reason for a visit. The pressure built, the whispers grew louder. The decision was made to act, but it had to be done with surgical precision. No sirens, no flashing lights. They waited for the perfect moment, a time when the jet was on the ground for routine maintenance at a small private airfield in Florida, far from the prying eyes of the paparazzi. The maintenance crew was quietly dismissed, replaced by a team of federal agents who looked just like them. They had a limited window of just a few hours to get on board, find what the informant was talking about, and get out without leaving a trace. As they walked across the tarmac toward the gleaming white jet, emblazoned with Tiger's personal logo, they had no idea they were about to step into a mystery far deeper than they could have ever imagined. What they were looking for was about to change everything. The $60 million cage. Stepping inside a Gulfstream G550 is like entering another reality. The air is different, cool, crisp, and smelling faintly of polished wood and expensive leather. For the agents searching Tiger Woods' jet, it was a world away from their usual assignments. This wasn't a grimy warehouse or a suspect's apartment. This was a flying palace. The cabin was configured to hold about 18 passengers, each with a seat that could recline into a fully flat bed. A private stateroom was located in the aft section, complete with a queen-size bed and a private bathroom. The galley was stocked with crystal glasses and containers of gourmet food, meticulously prepared for a man whose body is his business. The thing nobody tells you is how meticulous a search like this has to be. The agents started their work, their professional eyes scanning for anything out of place. They ran detectors over the plush, cream-colored carpets. They checked the panels in the ceiling and the walls, tapping gently to listen for hollow sounds. They inspected the high-tech entertainment system, the satellite phones, and the secure Wi-Fi hub, looking for hidden data or unauthorized modifications. The jet was a fortress of technology, designed for a man who needed to run a global business while traveling at 500 miles per hour, 40,000 feet above the world. Every inch of it was designed for luxury, privacy, and performance. An hour turned into 2. The agents found nothing, absolutely nothing. They found expensive golf clubs, of course, secured in a custom-built, climate-controlled locker. They found neatly organized drawers of Nike apparel. They even found a small, refrigerated unit designed specifically to hold high-performance sports drinks at a precise temperature. In a side compartment, they found what looked like a portable medical station, complete with advanced recovery tools like compression therapy devices and portable cryotherapy units. It was the mobile command center of a world-class athlete. Everything was perfectly in its place. It was almost too perfect. The agents started to feel a creeping sense of frustration. Was this all a wild goose chase? Had they been sent here based on a prank call from a crackpot? The lead agent stood in the middle of the main cabin, surveying the scene. Everything was pristine. The custom monograms on the headrests, the family photos in small silver frames, it all painted a picture of a man dedicated to his family and his craft. But the informant's words echoed in his mind. It's hidden in plain sight, something that shouldn't be there. He thought about the odd flights to the middle of nowhere. Those trips didn't fit the picture of a dedicated athlete. There had to be something more. He ran his hand along the floor, feeling the thick, seamless carpeting. It felt solid, but then his fingers brushed against something near the base of a heavy wood cabinet, a tiny, almost invisible seam. It wasn't a flaw, it was a door. A hidden latch was their only way to the truth. What the agents saw. Finding the latch was one thing, opening it was another. It wasn't a simple lock. It required a specific sequence of pressure points applied to the surrounding floor panels. It was a sophisticated system designed to be completely invisible to anyone who wasn't supposed to know it was there. After several tense minutes, they heard a faint hiss of hydraulics. A section of the floor, no bigger than a large briefcase, rose silently, revealing a shallow compartment lined with dark, velvet-like material. Inside, there was no money, no weapons, no illicit substances. There was only one object, a single, large, leather-bound book. The book was old, or at least it was made to look old. The leather was worn smooth and it had no title, no markings of any kind. One of the agents, wearing gloves, carefully lifted it out. It was heavy, far heavier than it should have been. As he opened it, the team fell silent. The pages weren't made of paper. They were thin sheets of a strange, metallic-looking material, cool to the touch. And on these pages, there was writing. It was a list of names. But these weren't just any names. They were the names of some of the most powerful people in the world. CEOs of Fortune 500 companies, obscure tech billionaires, foreign dignitaries, and even a few names that the agents recognized from classified government briefings. But that wasn't the strangest part. Next to each name was a series of bizarre symbols, almost like hieroglyphics, and a handwritten notation. These notations were what made the agents go pale. They weren't financial records or blackmail material. They were descriptions of trades, but not for money. Things were being exchanged. Things like a point of influence over the South China Sea, control of a key patent for desalination technology, a favorable ruling in the European courts, or a shift in public opinion. It was a ledger of power, a logbook of favors and influence traded at a global level that operated completely outside of any known system of government or finance. At the very back of the book was a single folded map. It depicted a remote piece of land in the American West. At the center of the map was a hand-drawn symbol, the same one that appeared next to Tiger's name in the book. This wasn't just a list, it was membership to something. A club, a society, an organization so secret and so powerful that its members traded favors that could shape the futures of entire nations. The discovery was staggering. It recontextualized everything they knew about Tiger Woods. The odd flights, the immense wealth, the incredible comeback from career-ending injuries. Was it just talent and hard work, or was he part of a system that operated on a completely different set of rules? This wasn't a criminal matter. How could you prosecute someone for trading in influence? It was something else entirely. It was a glimpse into a world of power that was never meant to be seen. The agents now faced a terrifying new problem, the cover-up and the lingering questions. The thing is, what do you do with a discovery like that? The agents on the plane immediately called their superiors. The line went silent for a very long time. The orders that came back were swift and absolute. Document everything, put the book back exactly as they found it, close the compartment, and leave. No trace of their presence was to remain. They were to file a report under a deeply classified project name, a report that would be immediately sealed. The official story would be that the tip was a dud, a false alarm, The search of Tiger Woods' jet never happened. It was erased from the record. Why? Why bury a story of this magnitude? You see, it's because the book wasn't evidence of a crime. It was evidence of a different kind of game being played on a level most of us can't even comprehend. Prosecuting Tiger Woods would mean exposing the entire network. It would mean revealing the names in that book and admitting that there is a shadow system of power operating just beyond our sight. The political and economic fallout would be catastrophic. The public's trust in, well, everything would be shattered. So the decision was made to contain it. The secret was too big, too dangerous to ever see the light of day. The beast was left to sleep, but that leaves us, the average people, wondering, where do you and I fit into a world like that? How does a story of this magnitude just disappear, swallowed by silence? It forces you to look at the world a little differently, doesn't it? We grow up with posters of our heroes on the wall. We spend our Sundays watching them achieve the impossible, and we believe it's all down to their talent, their discipline, their never-give-up attitude. We need to believe in that story because it gives us hope. But what if that's only half the story? What if there's another layer, a hidden network that gives them an edge we can't even begin to see? Is it possible that the figures we idolize are playing by a completely different set of rules? It makes you question everything. When you see a miraculous comeback from a devastating injury, is it just medical science and grit? Or did a name in a secret book clear the path? When you watch a major championship, are you just watching a game of golf? Or are you watching a tiny piece of a much larger, invisible contest of influence and power, where the real victory was decided long before the first ball was ever struck? This discovery wasn't just about one man or his $60 million jet. It was about accidentally pulling back the curtain and seeing the gears of a machine that runs the world. A brief, terrifying glimpse that proves there's a game being played above the game we all see. The things nobody tells you are often the most important things of all. The story of what was found on Tiger's jet is a chilling reminder that profound secrets are hidden all around us, in the most unlikely of places. And maybe, just maybe, some secrets are kept under lock and key because if we all knew the truth, the world as we know it would stop making sense. What do you think was really in that book? Was this a one-time thing, or is there a whole hidden world we don't know about? Let us know your theories in the comments, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more secrets they don't want you to know.